Welcome. So I was asked by you guys for me to show you kind of a breakdown of my first flip. What were the numbers? What was the profit that I made? I have it literally all broken down into a little spreadsheet for you to see just how much I made on my first flip house. Stay tuned. That looks crazy. Let's turn that thing off. I like it. So here's the backstory on this. So I was approached by a wholesaler on this property. Berrywood Avenue is in Arlington. Arlington is kind of an up and coming area in Jacksonville, and you know, there's a lot of new homes. It's a nice median kind of market to buy and flip a home that is in need of a rehab. So I was approached by a wholesaler who brought this property to me. This is pretty much what it looked like when I first bought it. I mean, as you can see, just pretty rough. I mean, look at the flooring in that bathroom. Look at this place. I mean, old electric, all just disgusting carpet. Look at this kitchen. I mean, just, you know, old and pretty much in need of a full gut, right? So I walked through with my crew and we were like kind of put together a real rough construction budget. I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll put like 40, maybe 45 grand into this house. You know, we'll open up this kitchen, we'll rip out all the flooring, we'll redo, you know, the bathrooms and the kitchen, of course, and this back room. Let me show you this back room. This back room here, they turned this garage into, this is kind of like a downside, I guess. I mean, the buyers bought it, so they like it, but this is what it looked like before, obviously. People do like garages, but this was kind of like a den. So we ripped out all the paneling, we demoed the flooring. We even see this area right here where these boxes are. We framed a wall right here. I mean, I saw that when I first walked through. I'm like, this is just what needs to happen. We framed a wall right here and we opened this, we left the door, but we opened this whole room that's behind that door into this laundry room. So we completely renovated, this is of course what it looked like before, but completely renovated the laundry room. So you can see, single family home, in need of a lot of work. Can't really remember what he was asking. Actually, let's look. Let's go back to the original email. All right, so this is the actual email that I got. We were talking about another property and he was kind of telling me where his bottom line was. This guy, Sean, really great guy. He says, you're still interested to buy? Because we kind of were going back and forth. Got another concrete block. It's a 3-2 in the Fort Caroline area. Wanted to contact you first if you're still interested. It's a 3-2, 1653 square feet. He's saying the ARV 190 plus. Okay, so I'll let you know soon what I sold it for. And he said he's asking 128,000. So, you know, and then he sends me all these photos. And so those are the photos I just showed you. I'm like, all right, let's go take a look. So we walked through the property, we did our due diligence, everything, blah, blah, blah. We went back and forth on pricing a couple different times. I'm like, I'm not paying any more than 120 for this place. I'm like, I'll give you like 100. I can't remember what I first offered. And I talked to my real estate buddy and he was like, man, you should not pay like any more than like 105 or something, 110 max for this place. It's in Arlington. I'm like, you know, I just really want to get into this deal. I want to get into flipping homes. So as you can see, I have this box of anticipation here. This is so we anticipate, and I'll just show you all the numbers right away. Bought the property at $117,500. I mean, this was just the bottom dollar of what this guy was gonna take. I mean, I really tried. I'm like, pushed and pushed. I'm like, all right, you know what? I don't need to do any siding because it's all coquina. The roof, I don't need to touch. I felt like I could get the job done for maybe just kind of ballparking like $40,000, $45,000 of a renovation. So, closing costs to buy. Now these are just gonna be some really close, like round numbers. I mean, when I bought, it was similar, it was close to this because I bought all cash on this one because I had a couple lenders. This is my first deal, so I had a couple lenders that were like, hey, like, kind of like, private money, like friends. I'm like, yo, do you want to like lend for me on this house? And they're like, well, I'd love to, but like short on cash right now, this, that. So long story short, I was kind of waiting to hear back from this one guy who was like gonna do it. I don't remember what exactly happened, but I wound up just putting all my own cash down. So I pretty much just, this deal, don't ever do this and I don't recommend it. Putting all of your own cash into one deal. I would definitely recommend using OPM, other people's money. The rehab. So how much did I wind up spending on rehab? Well, look, plumbing, I spent $4,000 on plumbing. HVAC, $2,900. We didn't touch the ductwork, but we did the handler and the condenser, all new unit, and of course a new thermostat. And we cleaned the ductwork and we relocated, I don't think we relocated grills, but we just replaced the grills and made it all beautiful. So the electrician, we had a couple different electrician situations here. We had one there, and these are actually costs that I pulled from Buildertrend. I just dumped these into a spreadsheet. So that is about, you know, $2,250, probably about that. I think that's all the things with Steve. Steve's a great guy. $2,000, $2,500 on electrical. He did buy some fixtures, but that does not include, like you see, like these cane lights here. I put those over in Berrywood, and you're gonna see some final photos of Berrywood, like when it's all staged and everything. But I bought those on Amazon, which just search for the Julison LED lights. They're great. They're just kind of these little pancake lights, and they just mousetrap and they slip right into the hole that you cut in the drywall after it's painted. Super great. Paint, we spent a considerable amount. You can see, you know, we spent $775 here at this one charge. We had a couple other charges, and I'm sure there's some Home Depot runs that maybe had some paint supplies and just random miscellaneous stuff. Cabinets, I got all new cabinets. You can see DL cabinetry. There's like a deposit for $1,700, plus that is about $33.64. By the way, I hold command and then I hit the other cell, and then that's how you can do that, and you can select, and you can look at the sum down here, $33.64. On all new kitchen cabinets, by the way, Masters Building Products, that's for all the flooring. So I did LVP flooring for $24.62. That does not include the carpet in the bedrooms, by the way. Countertops, I think I spent about $1,800 on all the granite countertops. You know, we did a fence, we did this and that, and then it came down to, you can see these Duval Master, these are just me paying a subcontractor, you guys know David, every week for kind of his weekly guys that were there working. This is again a direct import from Buildertrend into the spreadsheet. So these are the purchase order numbers. And here at the end, it kind of came down to when I had a contract on the house for the seller, for the buyers to buy it from me, the seller, they kept asking for all these other things to be completed so they could purchase the property. Of course, me, I'm the nicest guy on the planet. I'm like, yo, I got you. So I made it happen, you know, little paint patches, added little installations. We did a window screen repair, outlet, and an anti-tip bracket. This says $49,731, and I still have a couple lingering accounting things. Part of like some of these little punch things need to be kind of put in here, and maybe part of the countertops. But long story short, I am just going to make this simple for this example. It's gonna be really close, but rehab cost $50,000, okay? I spent about $5,000 more than I wanted to spend, which isn't that bad considering the odds of like the universe and the global impact of like how much things can change, and humans and construction projects, and you know, okay, $5,000, not a big deal. By the way, give the video a like, you know, I always appreciate that. So I bought the property for $117,500. The closing costs weren't that much because I didn't have a loan on it. It was a simple, I mean, I did like a signature or two. Let's just call it a signature and a half. So on pieces of paper, you know, it just like took me 5 minutes because it was all my cash. And $2,500, close enough. Rehab costs $50,000. Then the management cost, this is kind of a roundabout ballpark, but I'm just gonna call it this to keep these numbers clean and simple. But you know, Ryan's time, my project manager, who was kind of running around, grabbing materials, getting phone calls over the course of 2 or 3 months. Now I bought this property first day or so of October 2019. November is the first month, then December, January is the third month. We were pretty much done construction at this point, and then I had listed it kind of in December actually. We were done construction in December, but it took a while to sell because no one's buying houses in Christmas time, okay? It just doesn't happen. I took it down off the market, I believe, and then I relisted it the beginning of January for, you know, $193,500. I had one showing, but they didn't make an offer. I'm like, what's going on here? I didn't stage it, okay? So holding costs, I just threw in like $1,500. That's like JEA, like water, and I was a little bit of a ballpark to this spreadsheet for this video. Probably about that, but probably not that much, but you know. All right, so, but then I decided to stage it. That cost me, she gave me a steal of a deal. Typically it's like $2,500 or $2,000, but this, I'm like, yo, just help me out. I'm gonna have like lots for you to do. So anyway, $1,000. Heather crushed it, and I got an offer like that. And literally like 2 days later, the people happened to schedule the appointment, gave them the lockbox code, they walk in, they fell in love. Didn't even have to bake cookies. Like, they just literally fell in love with it. Let me show you what this house looked like. So now you remember what this house looked like before. I'm so excited because it's a good feeling to fix up property. This, my friends, is what Berrywood. This was, remember that old room that we did? And there was like disgusting paneling. We demoed all the paneling. Remember, this was that wall that I told you we framed in? And look, they even hung a TV on the wall. This is that door. Okay, let's move on. This is the kitchen. Okay, beautiful. We opened all this up. We took this beam down that was running across here. You know, we painted everything Repose gray. These are those lights I was talking about, the Julison LEDs. Hopefully, are you excited by this? This is fun, like we're getting to the good stuff here. This is the kitchen. I mean, look at this. By the way, I got all these appliances for free. David had a connection with another house and they gave it to him and he gave them to me, so gracias, amigo. Kitchen turned out good, and look at this flooring, beautiful LVP flooring. This is what they did to the main area. They just put all these beautiful things. And by the way, these aren't even professional photos. It's just actually one of my assistant, John Crenshaw, he just did it. But the photos look great, but it's like, next house I'm gonna do like epic, like professional, like what he does for a living is just take photos, and so I'll probably do it next house. But look at this, we did the kind of gray carpet in here in the bedrooms, and the bathroom turned out, remember how gross this floor was and everything, and they just did the nice accents of blue, and this is that room with all that disgusting paneling. The plumbing was like falling out of the wall in this room and out of the ceiling. By the way, complete new repipe on this house. Master bathroom, which we left the original shower and door and tile and everything, and we even left, just going back to this bathroom in the hall, we even left all this, we just refinished it. Shout out Chandel for the Faux Collective, if you wanna check her out. The cabinet, see that blue there in the bottom right corner? You can kind of barely see it, but that really made a world of a difference to refinish the cabinets and the tile hub surround. So you can see that staging really makes a huge difference. Like I said, I got an offer like that. It was epic. So I'd recommend definitely staging your properties if you're going to be in the flipping world. So let's see here, this box of anticipation scrolls down the screen. My total costs, you know, round numbers, was $177,000. So out of pocket, I'm sitting here paying them every week. I'm buying all the flooring, I'm buying all the cabinets. I'm paying my management, which, you know, probably about that, but you know, there's all kinds of variables, and so whatever. But long story short, so my total cost, $177,000, okay? 177 large, 177K, okay? All right, so what did I sell it for? I sold it for 192. I sold it for 192. I was asking 193 and change. Got an offer for like, they were like, we're not going above 190. We promise, we love it, but we're not going above 190. I'm like, I'm not going below 192. And they're like, no, not a chance. All right, what do I sign? So, you know, business is all about negotiation. I mean, I love to negotiate. I'm a natural at being a negotiator. Part of my blood, I'm a Jewish businessman. I'm actually only half Jewish because my mom is not Jewish at all. My dad is like full Jewish. And so I only buy bacon when it's half off. Anyway, closing costs to sell, $8,500. So what is that? The gross profit, I'm calling it gross profit, but it's like, you know, the cash, the proceeds from the sale, rough numbers, $183,500. Okay, so I paid the buyer's agent 2.5%, which is like $4,800 or something like that. Okay, so my camera battery died and the sun went down. But anyway, long story short, I paid $300 because I had to get a survey. I didn't have a survey for the property. I paid $275 for the settlement fee, $175 for the title search fee. I paid $1,344 for the deed stamps and the mortgage doc stamps, $786.40 for the kind of prepaid property tax. And then I paid $4,800, like I said, for the real estate commission for the buyer's agent, and $202 for, there's some title insurance on here. And anyway, so long story short, about $8,500 for my costs as a seller to sell this property to the buyer. I'm calling this gross profit, but you know, cash proceeds to me was $183,500. 500 roundabout. And that put me at a net profit of $6,500. Okay, so honestly, when I first bought the property, I wanted to do way better than $6,500. I mean, come on. Let's also take this box of anticipation and delete that. So, long story short, you know, I would have loved to make 20 grand or 25,000 or whatever. But unfortunately, on this first deal that I did, I only made 6,500 bucks. And, you know, how do I feel about that? Well, you know, you live and you learn. I learned a lot. I developed my systems. I learned what kind of flooring I'm gonna put in, what kind of cabinets and counters and colors and different stuff. And so now every project is different. Every process in life, there's a new mountain you have to go through, and every property is gonna be different. So there can't be necessarily some just stamped thing for every single house. There's problems that come up, like Fargo. I'm dealing with this HVAC system that they didn't pull a permit for before I bought the house back in 2014. Now I'm having to deal with it. I could have looked that up, but long story short, there's just different things like behind walls, there's mold and termites and stuff you have to repair. And so you deal with it as it comes up, but this was a great learning experience for me. My first flip, 6,500 bucks. It's like when you're running a multi-million-dollar business, the construction company, what is like a couple of days of payroll for 4 months of time and money out. And so, it's a business decision. And I would say I should have bought this property about 10 grand or more less than I paid for it. I think that would have made all the difference. But, it really probably wouldn't have sold for that. But anyway, that's Berrywood. Thanks for watching. And I'm definitely doing a lot better on the next deals, like that land at Inwood Terrace. Already sold, 105,000. Anyway, videos coming up on that soon. Talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing.